What's good, sports fans? My name is Damian Adams from The Real Deal with Damian Adams and the Third and Three podcast. After you watch this video, go ahead and subscribe to those podcasts. You will enjoy them. Now, today I'm coming to you with my reaction to the debut of the Big Three in Brooklyn, and they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a double overtime thriller. What a game! What a game! So before I get to Cleveland, let's start with the Brooklyn Nets. I was very interested in seeing who would be in the starting lineup and how they would set up the rotations. So the starting lineup was Kyrie, James Harden, Jeff Green, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Jordan, right? So who do you take out first? Who's the guy who runs the second unit? So the first person to come out the game was James Harden, right? Brought in Joe Harris. So you have Joe Harris along with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, all the spacing in the world for them to work, right? DeAndre Jordan diving to the basket. Great lineup. James Harden comes in with the second unit. James Harden, we know from his career, can work with that. All you got to do is give him space. He ISOs, pick and roll. He can make it work. His numbers today show that, right? Now, with Kyrie, he was very aggressive. That's what you want from Kyrie. You want Kyrie to do his thing. He's a special ISO talent. He's a special shooting talent. Just a special all-around offensive talent. He was that today. Kevin Durant is maybe the most gifted scorer we've ever seen. He was that today. Now, the problem was defensively, they weren't able to stop Cleveland, right? One of the reasons they weren't able to stop Cleveland is one of the players on Cleveland should probably be on their starting lineup. Talking about Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen is an absolute monster defensively. There's times where he had to come out and guard Kevin Durant, was able to stay in front of him, had some good blocks at the rim, and also made a few jump shots here and there, a little floater in overtime. He was big in this game. And he definitely needs to get way more minutes than Andre Drummond. Who gave Andre Drummond the green light? Like, who said it was okay for Andre Drummond to operate on offense and be free? Whoever said that in life? Like, it probably hasn't happened since high school for Andre Drummond to be like, give me the rock, let me go to work. So many bad plays from Andre Drummond in this one. I understand he's a very good rebounder. Offensive rebounding is crazy, but there's no way he should get the ball in the post. Hey, let me go to work. No. And you shouldn't be leading the break. So I felt like I saw a million turnovers. I know it wasn't that many, but the plays where he did turn the ball over just stood out so much. Stop it, Andre Drummond. The coach, tell Andre Drummond to stop it, okay? Good game from my man Osman. Very good shooter, very efficient on offense. But the star today was my man Collin Sexton. Absolute beast. I was in here going crazy in the second overtime. He scored 15 points in the second overtime, 18 points in a row for Cleveland at one point, and led them to victory. Just shooting three after three over good defenders. Like, one was in Kevin Durant's face, one was in Kyrie's face. Balled out and helped Cleveland win this game. Now, there's going to be some people that point to this game as like, see, this ain't going to work for the Nets. Now, I don't believe the Nets are going to win a championship, but I'm not going to point to this game and say this is why. It's the first game of their Big Three era. They got to work it out. But I do like what I see from what Steve Nash is doing with the rotation. Some of the plays they ran offensively. The only thing I didn't like towards the end of regulation, they had a play where they're trying to get ahead to end the game, and it's a James Harden dribble, step back. Get all three players involved, some type of action, do a pick and roll with him and Kevin Durant. Like, have two or three of these players involved in this play. Don't just have an isolation play unless you have some crazy mismatch. It was James Harden or Larry Nance, right? Larry Nance isn't a bad defender, right? I understand James Harden is pretty much a mismatch for anybody, but that's still just not a good shot. I understand James Harden can make that, but let's get a better shot than that, right? And I saw that Cleveland was able to kind of throw them off a little bit by playing some zone here and there. Again, first game together, they got to work together and get it done. So I like what I saw rotation-wise, but defensively, they need help. DeAndre Jordan can't do it. And to end the game, You don't have DeAndre Jordan in there, so you're very small. You have Kyrie, Harden, Joe Harris, Jeff Green, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can play defense, he can block the ball, but he's not a shot blocker, right? So that could be something that comes to a head in the playoffs when you have big matchups like Giannis and people like that. Who's going to be the guy who protects the rim? Are you asking Kevin Durant to do too much? We'll see. But Cleveland played a hell of a game tonight, man. I'm so looking forward to seeing what Brooklyn does going forward to adjust some of these things. But congratulations to Colin Sexton, man. He definitely had a coming out party tonight. So until next time, go real or go home.